Amy. How's everyone doing? Am I still live? Or...
Well, can you come here a minute? We don't have a picture on here.
Okay.
Do we need to just push that? Oh, there's a...
Okay.
All right. Hopefully we got things taken care of here. A brief delay, so...
Friday morning spooks handling things.
Hi, Katie, Lori, Colleen, Lois, Kathy, Darlene, Carol, Catherine, Karen, Janice, Cindy, Triss,
Good morning, good morning,
Margot,
good morning.
Peg, Debbie, Roxy. She's taking out the garbage. We were just talking about that today, what's going on here at the store.
Yeah,
So
we were just talking about that.
Cindy, hi there. Sandy, Steve, and Deb. Going through things quickly here this morning. Amy's got a lot to get through, so we're going to keep moving. Marianne, the scrambling eggs and sausage. And
Ooh.
fresh peach. Wow, you went all out this morning, Marianne.
Fresh peaches?
I believe so. Fresh Georgia peach.
Wow.
I'm Mary, Katrina. Katrina, are you guys on the road again this weekend? I would imagine. Cindy,
Phone is beeping. I better turn the volume down.
Connie, Linda in Louisiana, Cindy, and Phyllis. Yes, Amy did get her hair cut, Cindy, and she does appreciate all the compliments. She wasn't quite so sure about it a couple of days ago, but yes, it is going good.
It was a little shorter than I had planned, but you know what? It takes me about 3 seconds to wash it in the morning, and I think it's going to work good. I might have to start wearing earrings again.
Deb got her hair cut short also for summer.
Yep, it sure does make it a lot cooler.
Good morning, Pam. Okay. Katrina's staying in town for the Juneteenth celebration.
Oh,
so
okay.
have fun at that.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm caught up. If today's going to be one of those days, I might miss some names. I apologize for that, but we're going to keep moving through things here, so Amy can do a lot of teaching here. And Linda's checking in also.
So what we're making this morning is the Rick Rack Table Runner from Cut Loose Press. I love these patterns. They're 3-hole punch. Go to the dollar store, get you a binder, and then you can keep all of these patterns in there so you know right where they are and can go find them. I'm doing mine this morning in Patriotic. This would be beautiful in any colors that you choose. Now, of course, I'm doing it a little different than the pattern. The pattern calls for 10-inch squares. It calls for 21 assorted blues, and it calls for 18 background or assorted background. I found that you're gonna cut strips into 1 1/4 or 1 1/2 inch strips. It doesn't matter what. I have a, if you have an AccuQuilt cutter that cuts 1 1/4 or 1 1/2, it would be a great way to do that. And I found, and I will show you, how easy it is to use the long strips to really make your blocks go together fast. So instead of 10-inch squares, I use yardage and then cut width of fabric strips. So we have the pattern for sale this morning. It's $3.99 for the cut loose pattern. We've done some of these before. You can go back through our comment sold store or on our app and look for any other cut loose patterns. We'll be doing more in the future, so it's a great way just to keep them in a binder and be good to go with it. On the cut loose patterns, on the edge, it tells you project time. So this one is a 6 hours, so it's a weekend project. It's not going to be one that you're going to get done in an afternoon. Fabric type, it does say square friendly, but I changed it to yardage. And project type, you could be a bag, a craft, stitchery, a quilt. This one says home because it's a table runner. So you can put all of those in order however you like in your binder. So sold 100, $3.99 for the Rick Rack table runner pattern. Then to make this table runner that we're doing this morning uses Creative Grids. This is one of their newer.
We got the
did I go to the
fabric pack?
fabric
No.
bundle?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm making Patriotic today.
I was going to say, yeah, show a completed.
Here's one of the, we're making, there's 3 different blocks. Here's one of the blocks. So I'm using, it's all Northcott, a beautiful Patriotic fabric. So what you're getting is 3/8 of a yard of 5 red, white, and blues, and 1.5 yards of background. We are limited on these. We can do 20 bundles because of the 1.5 yards of background. So we have 20 bundles available to make your table runner. And I forget how much those are.
Those are $43.99.
And you're getting a lot of fabric. So 3/8 of a yard of 5 different ones, 1.5 yards of your background, sold 101. And to do this table runner, Creative Grids, one of their newer rulers is their 10-inch log cabin trim tool Duo. The reason it says Duo is you can make normal log cabin blocks, you can make courthouse steps, you can make a duo. So what a duo is see how it's the same color and it goes around in a square? Or you can make skinny log cabin and a skinny courthouse step. So we're going to be working on the skinny log cabin. Isn't that cute? I just think it's super cute and easy to do these blocks. So we have the trim tool by Creative Grids. It is
$34.49.
$34.49.
And Pam says she would use the Stripology rulers to cut the strips.
Absolutely.
But this is for other.
This is to make the block.
Okay.
But it's not just this block. You can make log cabin blocks. You can make it skinny or the regular size. And I like on the ruler that when you're looking at it, standard log cabin, it actually tells you on here to cut your strips at least 1 3/4 inch wide and your center square at 2.5. So it gives you directions right on here. It also has skinny log cabin, cut strips at least 1 1/4 inch wide, center square 1.5. So there are, and of course it's Creative Grids, so it's that non-slip backing. So great tool to have. Just another tool for your toolbox. And then, if you haven't got yours by now, if you don't have a rotating mat, we've got the Fiskars 14x14 rotating mat, because you're going to be trimming every time you do a round of fabric, you're going to be trimming. So it's really nice to have a rotating mat so you don't have to get up or be awkward or try to turn your block. You can just turn your mat. So the mat is
$39.99, sold 103.
Sold 103. All right, so there's 3 different blocks.
Let's just talk about shipping first.
Okay.
Nobody has asked yet, so we are ahead of the game today.
We're doing $5 flat rate shipping unless you buy $25 or more. I'm pretty sure with anything you buy this morning, you're going to hit.
Other than just the pattern.
Other than just the pattern, you're going to hit free shipping. So $5 shipping unless you get $25 or more, then your shipping is free. And we left on the bonus monkey cash. So if you check out within 60 minutes after we're done, you get your normal 5% monkey cash, but you're going to get an additional 5% monkey cash in your cart for a future purchase.
And we believe if you aren't able to watch it live, if you watch it later in the day, tomorrow on Saturday, an hour after you put things in your cart, you will get that also.
We're not for absolute sure on that, but $5 shipping. All right. 3 different blocks in this table runner. So here's the blocks. So what I'm going to do this morning is I'm going to show you how to make the 2. One has an hourglass block, hourglass for your center. I'm going to show you how to make that. One has a pinwheel center. I'm going to show you how to make that. And then we're going to make this block. And then the other block has just your normal square for your center. And then what we're going to do is after I show you how to make the block, we're going to put my blocks together and actually make the table runner. So that's what we're going to do this morning. So you're making 3 blocks with the pinwheel. You're making 3 blocks with the hourglass. And you're making 6 blocks of your normal skinny log cabin block. And then we'll put them together.
Carolyn, the mat is $39.99, sold 103. Make sure that comes up right here. I'm showing that it should be that, so I'm waiting for it to switch over. And Colleen, the pattern does not come with the fabric pack today.
Right. So it's all separate. You can get the pattern, and then you can add to it the fabric bundle or the ruler and the rotating mat. So everything is separate today. Okay, so the first thing I'll show how to do is to make the hourglass block, which is pretty simple. So they put an hourglass in the center of one. And how you do the hourglass is you have 2 background fabrics and 2 other fabrics. Now, because there's 5 fabrics to choose from, it's your choice. I chose to put the stars, the multicolor, the red, white, and blue stars in my center. You could do red stars for your center. You could do the red solid for your center. Totally up to you. You have the same amount of fabric of all 5, so your choice how you want to do it. So what I'll do is on the back of my background square, I am going to draw with my friction pen a X. So I'm going to go corner to corner.
And if you're in need of a friction pen or a ruler to do that, just look in our comment sold store. They are listed there, and on the rulers we can personalize those if you'd like. Just put that in your comments.
So my ruler I'm using is a 2.5 by 24. That's not right.
It's a 2.5 by 12.
No.
Are you using a recycled ruler?
I'm using one that was broken. So mine is 2.5 by 14.
That's good advertising there.
It is good advertising. It was the one I grabbed this morning. So yeah, you can do a 2.5 by 12.
Yes, Catherine, left-handed or right-handed, just make sure to put that, if you want a left-handed ruler, to put it in your comments. And if you don't want a name on there, please put no name or something to that effect also. Otherwise, you're going to be getting a phone call from me, and I'm going to probably be really angry. So.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay. So we have right side up for the big square. I drew an X. Hopefully you can see that on the back of the background fabric. And I'm going to put them right sides together. Then I'm going to go to my machine and I'm going to sew 1/4 inch on one of the corners. Not both, just one. So I'm going to sew 1/4 inch on both sides of one of my lines.
Colleen's laughing because she's received phone calls from me before, so.
Yeah. Everyone loves getting phone calls from Randy.
Are you going to be sewing for just a second here? A second?
Yep.
Okay, I'm just going to announce that we're having a flash sale today on a couple of previously loved machines. Marcia says friction pins are waitlisted. We will change that right after the show, so go ahead and put those in your cart, and we will add to that.
All right, so I sewed a 1/4 inch on each side of one of the lines, but I'm going to cut them apart on both lines. So I'm going to first cut one way in the middle of where I sewed. Then I'm just going to turn my mat and I'm going to cut the other way on my line that I did. So I only sewed this way, but I cut both ways. So when you open them up, you get four triangles.
Linda, if you're going to be calling today, Amy and I might be slipping out here a little bit early to get a head start on the weekend. So if you're going to call probably before 11 o'clock. That'd be great. So,
and then we're going to do it one more time on the other one. Because what we'll end up doing is sewing, excuse me, sewing two together, but they have to be opposites. So we'll do the other one opposite. So I'm gonna draw my lines. Now you can talk, Randy.
Just to catch up on a few names. Deborah is checking in. Jan, Denise, she says, thank God it's Friday. Jeannie, let's see. I know I'm missing some names here. Carolyn, Martha's checking in. Cheerios for her this morning. Anybody else? But yeah, we will, like I was starting to say before, flash sale on all the previously loved machines that we have here. We've got the Creative Sensation Pro 2. That one includes a bag. That is sewing and embroidery machine. Very nice machine. And what's nice about this one especially, if you're interested at all about getting into, just stop me whenever you need to talk, Amy.
I'm good.
If you're interested at all about embroidery, this is a great way to get into it without the investment of a brand new top-of-the-line machine. And also what's nice is if you do purchase a machine and decide that you like embroidery, we give you 100% trade-in value back on your machine within the first year. So we, you're not going to lose value on it if you decide to trade up within that year. The other machine that we have for sale in this one is, I can't say a little old lady drove it because Teresa is not a little old lady. Teresa is, but she's one that purchased the machine, I think it was last October. Just this spring, she upgraded to a sewing and embroidery machine, top-of-the-line machine, and we took this in on trade. So it is a great machine that has very few hours, but it has been used.
Will you hand me those two pieces over there? This way. Normally, you would make.
I didn't know what to.
All right. So when you're putting all of you're cutting them apart, you're getting the triangle. Then what you're going to do, these are already pressed. You're just going to put those together, and since I press towards the dark, you put them together and that makes your hourglass. So I am just going to put these together. I'm going to nest that center seam since I pressed them both to the dark.
What machine are you interested in, Linda? Well, I guess I can give the prices on both machines. The Expression 710, if you were to buy that brand new right now today, you're going to be spending about $3,100, maybe a little bit more than that. We have it on sale for, get this, $24.99. So $24.99 gets you into a less than a year old machine. So it's a great value, great machine. Got the automatic pressure foot lift, thread snips, tons of stitches on it. Just a very smooth sewing machine. Amy sewed on it a couple of weeks ago on one of our Breakfast with Amy's on a Saturday morning. And so that's there. And the Creative Sensation Pro 2, the sewing and embroidery machine. If you purchased maybe even a step down machine from it right now, a new machine, you're going to be spending around $7,000. We have this one at, get this, $29.99 today. So there, I set them.
That's some good deals. All right, here is your hourglass block for 3 of your blocks. Super easy to do. You draw necks, cut them apart, and then sew the edges back together. So you're going to make 3 of these. The other block is your pinwheel block. Pinwheels are super easy. We all know now, if you watch me on Wednesdays when we do our Create with Quilts, to make our half square triangles. So this one, to conserve fabric, and you're going to be using your fabric, you would cut these squares first and then cut all the rest of your fabric into the 1 1/4 or 1 1/2 inch strips. So I am just going to draw a line down the center of my background. I'm going to do 2 of them, and we'll make our pinwheel blocks. So the first thing we have to do is, my squares must have got a little wonky. That happens once in a while. Okay, so let's put a mark down the center of another one, and now I'm going to sew 1/4 inch on both sides of my line on my squares.
And what's nice about these machines, we can ship these anywhere in the United States, so and that shipping is included in those price. Lenora's wondering what's the least expensive embroidery machine that we have. We can get a FOF Creative 640. It's a machine that is both sewing and embroidery. It's got a semi-automatic needle threader on it. Probably the biggest drawback on it is the size of the hoop, the largest hoop that can go with it. And I'm looking to Amy here to get is it a 5x7 hoop?
I believe so.
So you're not going to be a huge hoop. April, how big is the hoop for the Pro 2? That is that you can get up to you can use pretty much any size hoop on that.
You can go like a 260 or 200 by 260, I believe.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I wasn't prepared for the size of hoops on each machine this morning.
But if you're interested in details more, you can give us a call here after the show, and we'd love it to.
All right. So now I'm going to cut these apart on that line that I drew, and we're going to press these to the dark. They're just half square triangles, and we're going to make our pinwheel blocks.
Debbie loves her 640. She received one here a few months ago, 2, 3, 4 months. I lost track, but yeah. So Foth makes a great sewing and embroidery machine, so we would love to help you guys out if you're interested in something.
All right, so I'm just pressing those to the dark. We're going to make our pinwheel. So to make the pinwheel, I'm just looking at the picture so I knew exactly how to arrange them. We'll just put 4 together and just like that. So I am just going to clip off my little dog ears. And then we're going to put our pinwheel together. All right, so just like that. And then now I'm just going to sew 2 together. And because I pressed to the dark, they nest when I get down to the corner.
And I'm going to keep scrolling through the different items that we have on this morning. But just a reminder to everybody that $5 flat rate shipping, $25, a purchase of $25 or more, it's free shipping. So I think that's a great deal for you. Also, we kept intact typically we have 5% of your purchase turns into monkey cash. That you can.
So I'm just going to stop you a second. I am just going to sew. So see how I put those back together? I am now just going to sew and nest my seam in the center to complete my pinwheel.
So today, again, the 5% monkey cash is intact. Plus, if you check out within an hour after the show, you're going to receive an extra 5% monkey cash that you can use as a credit on future purchases.
All right, so there is our pinwheel block, which is the center of 3 of our squares. So I'm just going to give that a press. So centers are super easy. You're going to do 3 pinwheels, 3 of those hourglass blocks. Just have a little thread there in the middle. Now let's make our block. So when you start with your pinwheel, you can I'm just going to trim this one side. So your pinwheel is a 4.5-inch pinwheel. And I'm just going to make that a little straighter on the side. Sometimes when you get to sewing fast, you get a little off. Then it doesn't matter what you do. If you want to start with your background or start with a color. I started with my background when I was making it. So I'm going to take my background. Now when I did it, I did all 3 blocks at the same time. And let me grab my other. Where did I put my hourglass block is what I'm looking for. That I just had this morning. Okay, oh, here it is. Okay, so we're going to pretend these are the same blocks. I'm going to show you how you can sew all your blocks at the same time for all of your strips. So first we're going to sew background fabric. So I'm going to take my strip and put it right side down. I'm not even going to cut off my selvage. You can if you want to. And I'm going to put it under my needle. with my selvage sticking over the edge so I don't have it. So I have about a 1/2 inch sticking over.
And just good morning to everyone.
And then I'm just sewing it along. Sorry, I'm cutting Randy off. And then I stop at the end of my block. And then you would take your other block. Now let's pretend this is exactly like this. And I slide that underneath my strip and match up my edges. And then I keep sewing. Then I would get down to the end of that block, grab my next block, whether you're doing 3 the same or 6 the same, that's how you would do it. So I'll take my next block, I would slip it under, and then keep sewing until I have all my blocks done. Then I would bring it to my cutting mat, and then you're just going to cut off that edge of your strip and then put that aside for your next. And then we're gonna just cut these off. And you can certainly do this with even all of your blocks at the same time. And then you're going to press that.
Cindy, we will give you a call and check on that for you.
So if this is up to my top, I'm gonna go clockwise around. So I put on my background. Now I'm gonna come down this way with my background. So I can take that same piece that I had, pull off them little threads. Same way, I'm going to come up to it. I'm going to leave a little bit at the top, put it under my needle. Sew your 1/4 inch. Stop with my needle down, pick up my next block, slide it underneath my fabric strip, and keep sewing. Then I would pick up my next block, put it underneath my strip until my blocks were done. Then you're going to do the same thing. You're just going to trim off that excess. Now you wouldn't have to trim off the excess. You can sew your next strip with that little bit of overhang. But I found by trimming each time really nice and keeping my block squared, you're going to be a little happier with your results at the end. So now I'm going to press that open.
Good morning, Evelyn and everyone else. We are not catching everybody this morning, but because Amy has a lot to get done on this project in a short amount of time, so just know that we appreciate all of you.
All right, so we did a background and then came clockwise, did another background. Now we're going to do one of our colors. Doesn't matter, you choose whatever one you want to do. Let's do the blue stars. And we're going to do the exact same thing. So this is I cut mine 1 1/2. You can do 1 1/4 to 1 1/2. I'm going to line this up. I'm going to have my salvage sticking up over the edge. I'm going to take it to my machine. I have about a 1/2 inch overhang, counting my salvage. And then I am just going to sew this down 1/4 inch at the edge of my block. I'm going to slide my next block under, lining up my edge.
Just a reminder to everybody, we only had 20 kits of the Rec Rack Patriotic fabric bundle available. Looks like we're down to 7, but more than likely we're not going to be able to get more of that. So if it's something that you want, now would be the time to put it in your cart. And if it's something you decide you don't want, please take it out in a timely fashion so others can put it in theirs too.
All right, so I'm just trimming. And I'm going to press those open. Now we're going to come down our last side. Now I did the same color. So see how I did the solid red first, then both sides were the stars, colored stars. You can mix and match. So it's easier the way I'm doing it because you have one solid strip. I just kept them both the same. If you want to change them up and make them more scrappy looking and maybe put a red strip on now, certainly up to you. You can do it however you want. I chose to use the same on both sides. So I'm going to take my strip again, have a little bit overhang. So my 1/4 inch. Slide my other block underneath. Now, since this is my last row, so I've gone all the way around my block now, you do not have to trim as close as you did before. So I am just going to cut them apart and press that. Because we're going to trim it anyway, so it doesn't matter if a little bit hangs over on this last row.
Happy birthday to Martha's youngest granddaughter, who's 7 years old today.
Nice! Birthdays are the best. So now on our log cabin trim tool, if you're doing your normal size log cabin block, which it talks about on here, so on your normal size, you have your strips at least 1 3/4 inch wide, and your center is 2 1/2. For your skinny log cabin, which is what we're using, these are the squares for your skinny. These are the squares for your normal. So I know it might be kind of hard to see, but there are black and white lines, there's dotted lines, and then the skinny ones are these squares that go down this way. So it tells you in the directions which square. They're labeled skinny R1, R2, R3, all the way down to R18. And it tells you which one to start with. So on the pinwheel block, it has you start with the 4. So I put, there's crosshairs right in the 4, And then not only that, there's also dotted lines that go all the way across, so you can put it right in the center of your block. You have all of these other lines lining up so you know where to put it. And then you're just going to trim off this little excess of the blue. Then we're just going to turn our rotating mat. I didn't hang on to that very well, did I?
Catherine says, do you always start with the background?
You don't have to. I did. It doesn't tell you that you have to. Then I'm going to turn it so my background is where I need it. I'm going to lay that same R4 right in the center. Line up my lines with my edges. And then I'm going to trim off so then you have a perfectly squared block. Then you're just going to continue on for all the different rows. Once you get the two backgrounds, you add your two colors and then you trim. So this one started with R4. The next one, center, is going to start with R5 because you keep adding a little bit every time you add another row. So you work your way down your squares of your ruler. And then when you get all done with that, you're going to end up with this. So this one has 5 rounds, and rounds I mean around, it goes all the way around with a background and a color. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds that you did with this. So 5 times you put on your background, your color, and then you cut. Then your background, your color, and then you trim. Background, color, trim, until you get your block all the way done. So you're going to do 3 of your pinwheels, 3 of your hourglass, and 6 normals. So your hourglass block only took 4 rounds, and your normal one that just has the square took 7 rounds. Yep, took 7 rounds. So that's how many times you're going around with your blocks. And then we can put ours together. So I'm going to sew our rows together. So my first row is this one goes, and then this one goes like that. And we're just going to sew those together with a 1/4 inch seam. And we're going to put our table runner together.
Peg says that's really sharp looking. She loves the Patriotic prints.
Northcott does a great job on their Patriotic prints.
I like the deep, rich reds and the darker blues. So it's
Okay, so there's our first row. I'm just going to give that a quick press on my seam.
So what's the finished project gonna? What's the dimensions of it?
The finished dimensions are going to be 18 by 54.
So it'll be a nice sized table runner.
It will be. Then my second row, we're going this way and this way. So I'm going to sew those together. And because you're trimming your blocks, and you trimmed with your done when we're all done, your blocks come out all pretty much the same size. They all end up being 9.5 inch unfinished.
Martha said you could use each block as hot pads if you want.
Absolutely. You could do this one in greens and red and make it Christmas. That would be beautiful too. There's our second row.
fall colors.
Fall colors. You could do the whole thing scrappy. Wouldn't that be pretty? Then let's do our third row, which is this one and our pinwheel. Sew those two together.
Deborah's placemats. Exactly. What?
Oh, you can do all kinds of things.
And Martha pointed out an obvious one that we didn't think of. You know, greens and whites, or greens and cream and yellow for St. Patrick's Day.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Or you can do it in whatever color you want to match your decor. So the picture on the front of this just used different shades of blue. There's our third row. This is going to be beautiful.
Is there 6 rows then?
There is 6 rows.
Okay.
Yes, 6 rows. So now I need my hourglass with my regular. And this really is a great weekend project.
I have a feeling that before Sunday afternoon rolls around, we will have a picture of somebody that has it completed already. Somebody that may have already had the pattern and
the ruler?
Yep. That was inspired by the show this morning and pulls it out of the bottom of the drawer or the bin and decides today's the day.
Well, I hope you get inspired. Okay, 2 more rows. We have a pinwheel and this one.
Peg says you could embroider something in the square instead of a quilt block. Exactly.
Sure.
Way to use that imagination there, because
That's why us sewers and quilters are so creative. We can see all the opportunities ahead of us when we're sewing.
Catherine says, where is Victor? He could have it done today. Well, and he is one that is very good at having things done very quickly. So, but yeah, Victor must have something going on today. I haven't
Seen him?
Haven't seen him this morning. So
Well, that's all right. Days get busy. And our last row is going to be this way. And then we'll sew our rows together.
oh, Victor says he's here.
Oh, he just hasn't been talking this morning. He's been intently watching.
And maybe he did say hi earlier because I did miss some names. So good morning, Victor. He's laughing at the comments
That we were talking about him when we thought he wasn't here.
Yes, we were trying to talk behind his back, but he was facing us, so it didn't work.
All right. So my 6th row and my 5th row, and we're just going to sew those two together, just matching up this center seam. So I am just going to put a little clip. If I can find a little clip. I'll get my hands on a little clip. Well, there we go.
Catherine says that she uses Victor for encouragement. There you go. That's what this is all about anyway, is
What we all do.
yes, so that's why if you have a question on something, feel free to go on Friends of Wise Monkey Quilting. If
And ask it.
Yeah, if you've got a project that you've completed, you know, show it, and because that inspires other people to keep sewing too. So, and all of the comments are so positive, and it just makes you feel good when you see those completed projects. So.
We're there to encourage each other.
Marianne, we will be back on Sunday, so we will be here probably before you will. So she says she wants to bring something for Amy.
Oh, ooh. All right, so there's the first two.
Margaret says Victor is already cutting the log cabin strips.
He probably is.
And Carla says it's all good. Yes, that's one of the best things about Friends of Wise Monkey Quilting is everybody getting along and having fun. There's a lot going on in the world that we don't discuss on these shows, but getting away and having some fun sewing and doing what you love is what it's all about.
That's right. Getting with your friends to sew. And we're all about friends that sew here. Because we're all friends of Wise Monkey.
All is good, says Carla. And if you do join us after this, if you're watching later and have a question or a concern, please contact us. You can either call us at the store at 712-393-7979, or you can also email us at amy@wisemonkeyquilting.com.
That's right. All right, I'm just sewing together 2 by 2.
You're loading the arc up.
Yes. Why, yes, I am.
And a few more seams, we will have the completed top done.
That was my goal for this morning, is to show you the completed table runner top.
Jackie slept in. Summer vacation has her sleeping in, so
Oh, that's wonderful.
you can go back and watch the replay, Jackie. One thing I might mention is the Rick Rack fabric bundle. I think we were down to 5 left, so that when those are gone, that is probably it for the Patriotic fabric bundle. Not that you couldn't make it in a ton of other colorways. So.
All right, so now I'm just going to sew these 2 to this 2. 2 more seams. What do you usually say, Randy? Your pieces are getting bigger. You must be getting closer to being done.
Peg says, I'm impressed. That's one gorgeous table runner.
It is gorgeous. Oh, I am so happy when I can impress Peg.
And Janice says, before we leave, happy Father's Day to all fathers. Yes. Wouldn't this be a, you could make this into, and I guess I don't know why I'm going this way with it, but you could make it even bigger. And what a quilt of valor this would be.
You could make a quilt out of this. All right, one more seam and we're done. Randy, there's a bug. There's a bug on my shirt. Randy, there's a bug.
Flick it off.
Oh, I do not like bugs. You were supposed to save the day and come get it.
I will take care of him.
Oh my. Live video.
But yes, happy Father's Day to all of you, the fathers out there. I'm sure we have a lot of silent ones that are watching. They might not comment, but they are watching along with their significant others. So we appreciate that.
Or maybe they're watching alone too.
That could be also. Cindy says he has a job, Amy. He's a cameraman.
Oh, so he couldn't jump up and get my bug?
No. Then I would have to get paid more today because I would be on air, on camera.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah, probably. Janice says that Mr. Rossman gets pretzel mix. So Janice was here yesterday.
Yes.
So
That's true. All right, are you ready? Ready for the big reveal? Isn't that gorgeous? I love this. Beautiful. It would be beautiful in any color. It's beautiful in the red, white, and blue. How cool is that? So there's 3 different skinny log cabin blocks. One's with pinwheels, one's with hourglass, or one's with the square. Here's your pattern. It's the Rick Rack Table Runner, $3.99, sold 100. You said we have a few of the fabric bundles left?
we have, as of right now, I believe 4.
4. So you're going to get 3/8 of a yard of the 5 different Patriotic red, white, and blues. And then you're going to get 1.5 yards of this Northcott background fabric to make your table runner. And then that one was how much?
The fabric pack is $43.99.
$43.99 for the fabric, sold 101.
And if you do go on wait list on that, there's a chance that somebody might change their mind. So just hang in there, and hopefully we can get one to you if it's not available right now.
Then the Creative Grids 10-inch log cabin trim tool duo. So like I said, you can make normal log cabin blocks with the 2.5-inch center. You can make the courthouse steps. You can do the duo, which is the squares that go all the way around, or the skinny log cabin block, or the skinny courthouse steps.
$34.99.
Sold 102.
102.
And then the last was, if you don't have the rotating mat, the 14x14 Fiskars rotating mat.
It is sold 103 for $39.99.
There you go.
So just the pattern does not come with the kit, Evelyn. So
right, so everything is separate this morning. You get your pattern and or your fabric bundle and or your Creative Grids ruler and or your rotating mat.
Let's see if there's any other questions. Cindy, we do not carry ironing board covers here in the store. It's something we've never had, so we won't be able to help you out with that. Deborah's wondering, how would you quilt it?
Oh, I would just do if you're doing it on a machine quilting, overall stars. If you're doing it on your domestic sewing machine, you could easily do a few stitch in the ditch around or meandering around, and it would be beautiful.
But yeah, a lot of great comments, so thank you for those. Cindy says she loves the quilt on the wall. That is still available in our comment sold store.
I still have one available.
So, and putting you on the spot, the name of
I
it?
don't know the name of it.
All right. Peg says she used to cover bugs on the floor with Dixie cups and wait for Mr. Peg to come home.
I've done that before, Peg. I'm with you.
Let's see. But with that, if you do have any questions and we didn't, if I missed them this morning or if you're watching later, please contact us here at the store because we want to help you with your project and anything that you might have a question on.
And there you go. Beautiful table runner this morning.
Jeannie, the pattern is Rick Rack Table Runner.
Rick Rack Table Runner.
It is
a cut loose pattern.
It's sold space 100 and it is $3.99. Peg's wondering what it would look like if you put black background with bright Halloween prints.
Oh, cute.
Yes.
That would be cute. Yes.
Terry says porch swing. I'm not sure.
Porch swing is the pattern
Oh,
right there.
thank you, Terry. So with that, everyone have a great weekend. I see we have customers in the store anxiously awaiting and employees have shown up, so we're going to get on with our day here.
Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll be back on Monday at 5 o'clock for happy hour.
Remember, if you check out within 1 hour from the end of the show here,
you get double your monkey cash.
Yes, instead of 5%, you will go to 10%.
And we're at $5 shipping unless you buy $25 or more, and then your shipping is free. And if you have questions on those previously loved sewing machine, embroidery machines, give us a call, 712-393-7979, and we can answer any questions you have.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Bye.